Today in South San Francisco, an incident that doesn't involve human excrement. Come on.
Leave this part in for the good people.
I got jokes.
For the good people at home.
For the good people at home. Hi everyone, welcome to today's research-informed badge cam lesson here at Active Self-Protection. I'm your host, John Correa.
I'm your co-host, Mike Williver. Today's video comes to us from the home of the first ever poop locator app, South San Francisco, California.
Palm pepper spray is next generation OC spray. It's hot at 1.4% major capsaicinoids, and its modular design means you can customize it exactly to you. 3 different setups, lots of different color combinations. You can make it exactly as you like. And the flip top safety prevents accidental discharges. It's 10 to 12 foot range and 25 half-second blasts. Make sure that you can keep that long range eye poke at long range. I trust Palm OC and I recommend it for everyone for self-defense.
This one begins, you're going to see a pedestrian recording a video of a local unhoused neighbor in South San Francisco who is trying to break down the door of a public bathroom next to the pier. And they're going to call that in. And of course, that milkshake is going to bring the local constabulary to the yard. We have badge cams from here. We have some cell phone and badge cams of them contacting the guy. Let's listen in.
Can you step back over there?
Sure. Can you unlock my door?
Yeah, we'll figure that.
Hey,
stop
come
right
here.
there.
What?
Yeah, we're talking to you, man. You're not going anywhere. Take your hand out of your pocket for me.
Huh?
Let's take your hand out.
I just need my stuff.
You can get your stuff when we're done, man. Take your hand out of your pocket for me.
No, I need my stuff, sir.
I need you to take your hand out of your pocket for me.
I can't do that, sir.
Why can't you do that?
Because I can't. I have rights.
You have rights?
Yes.
Your hand's
I have
gonna.
rights and my belongings are in that room.
And we will address that and we'll help you with that, but I need you to take your hand out of your pocket.
Oh. I'm serious.
So listen. We don't need to go anywhere besides talk to you, but your hand's got to come out of your
Excuse
pocket.
me?
We're talking to you. You're
Yeah,
detained. You're not going anywhere. You need to take your hand out of your pocket. Period. And then we can talk.
Talk. Your idea of talking is what?
My idea of talking right
Yeah,
now,
I
because
mean,
you're not listening, is going to come and detain you. If you take your hand out of your pocket, we can talk.
All right.
Simple. Done.
All right.
See how easy that was? Now listen, come back over here. You can stay near your stuff. We're not going to grab you. Come on over here. What are you doing, my guy? Why are you trying to break in
My
there?
stuff is locked in the bathroom. I was taking a shower. I come out, grab my wheelchair out. My stuff's in there. Phew, they automatically locked the door on me.
Okay, how come you didn't?
All my belongings.
How come you didn't call us or something, man? We'll come out
I
here.
have no phone.
Contact them.
Who's them?
It's obviously the marina stuff,
I
right?
don't even know who runs this. These are fake buildings. There's nobody in these buildings.
Patrol is right over there.
That's who runs the place?
Yes.
I thought it was a boat yacht club. That's what it says on the thing, yacht club.
Oyster Point Marina. Don't worry about that. Okay. So we have a big old misunderstanding, right? That's
Yes,
what we're
sir.
dealing with? Okay.
Yes, I just need my belongings out of it. That's it.
That's perfectly
That's all.
fine. That's all we needed to get to. Our safety comes first.
Okay. I
So when you're
understand
holding
that.
something in your
I
pocket, man,
I understand that. But
not a good thing.
I understand that.
Okay.
From my bad experiences, so
Hey, man, this is South City. We do things differently here.
Okay.
As long as you're cool with us, we're obviously going to be cool with you.
Okay.
Okay? Why don't you come over here, just hang out. I'm going to make a phone call to the harbor master, see if we can figure out trying to get into this bathroom and get your things out. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
Can you do me a huge favor while I do that? Just provide my partner here your name.
I'd rather not, sir.
At this point, you don't have a choice, but
I do, though.
you actually don't, because you were breaking into this building, so you were
I'm not
legally
breaking.
detained.
My
You were legit breaking in.
My belongings are in there.
It does not matter.
I was in there. How am I breaking somewhere I was already in? I
You
was
were
in there. My
legit
stuff
trying to
in there.
break into the
Yeah, trying to
bathroom
get back
in front of police. We witnessed
trying
that.
to get back in, yeah.
Listen, I'm not
I
going
was
to argue.
Look, you can't break in somewhere you
Listen,
already was in.
I'm going to go with this. I'm
Okay.
not going to argue
Saying
with you.
that.
You are detained.
Okay.
This is an investigation. You are required by law to provide your name. Period.
Or you're worried about giving us your name for it.
That's my right not to.
It's not your right. It's absolutely not. You gave up that right when you were trying to break into this
I was
bathroom.
trying to break in. I was trying
All
to
right.
get my belongings out of the bathroom out there.
Cool. Come on over here then.
Sir.
Come here.
No, sir.
Let's
Don't do this.
get your hand out.
Put your hand out of your pocket.
He's got something in his hand. Boy, 34. One at gunpoint.
Don't fucking do it.
It's a fucking gun. Get back.
Don't fucking do it.
Subject has a gun in his right hand. Officer's tactically retreating. Get over here. I'm gonna get a long gun. You guys got this?
Our unhoused ne'er-do-well then runs off down the quay, as it were, in this direction. You can go watch the original. I've linked it in the description if you want to see all the details on that. They are then going to recontact him with the 40 mic. Let's continue to listen.
You want me to get him? Do it. Are we on the tech? Yeah, I'm on the tech. Tech one click over.
You're under arrest. Leave me alone. Put your hands down,
Got
sir.
40? I got 40.
Do it now.
Hands down!
Do it. Hands down. Stop. Do it. Get on the ground. Hit him again. Hit him again.
Go! He's going that way! He's going that way! Alright, we don't know.
Hey, show me your hands.
Good! Stop it! Show your hands! Good! Drop it! He's going that way! He's going that way! Alright, we don't know.
Hey, show me your hands.
Good! Drop it! Show your hands! Good! Drop it! 21 Sam 11, shots fired, shots fired! Help! Good! Is that a gun?
By this point, they did have a drone up as well, and you can see as it zooms in, you can see our guy then show in his hand that gun, and then he is going to point that firearm towards the officers, and when he does, the officer who has the rifle is going to end that threat to the other officers. Now, once that proved fatal to this guy. He did not make it. It was a replica firearm he had. It was, you know, basically a toy gun. But of course, the officers did not know that. And thankfully, no one else was injured during this event.
You know, people ask in the comments all the time, you know, what the heck was this guy thinking? I gotta tell you, you don't want to know what he was thinking.
No, it was a really bizarre situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, I really think that, you know, the private citizen calling this one in, yeah, see a guy beating a door down and taking tools to it. Yeah, I'm going to call that into the constabulary. Don't get involved. Be a good witness. Maybe take a video and send that in. Great. And I do think these officers, do they have probable cause that a crime is being committed? Yes. I mean, they see the tools down there. They see the beating on the door. And so they know this guy is committing a crime, but I think they do a pretty good job of just talking to him, trying to get him to take his hand out of his pocket because I don't want to end up shooting you. That's what ends up happening. But I think they slowed their roll pretty well and did their best to avoid a use of force here.
Yeah, agreed. I think they did a fantastic job trying to just, you know, talk him down. And look, everyone can see this guy is mentally ill, right? Everyone knows that right from the jump. I want to discuss the caller real quick. Why did they call the police on this guy? Because I know someone will think, well, if they hadn't called the cops, this guy would still be alive. Maybe. I would call the police because I would not assume, but I would suspect there's someone inside that bathroom who's hiding from this guy or run away from this guy or whatever, and that's why he's trying to get in there so hard. With that said, the hand in the pocket makes me nervous. If you don't know why, go back a few weeks and watch the video we put out where the guy was a brief foot pursuit and the guy kneels down, has his hand in his pocket, won't take it out, draws a gun and gets a shot off. And I think, John, was it less than a second?
Yeah, way less than a second. And you know, I think these officers are, of course, doing the best they can, you know, to somebody who's clearly in crisis. And I get it, if his stuff is actually in there, okay, man, we can help with that. But we got to deal with, why are you beating this up rather than calling us? Well, we know why, because the guy has a gun in his pocket or a replica gun. And so he's really thinking, man, if they catch me with this, I'm going to get jammed up. Now, we can talk about California gun laws, but I mean, gosh, in San Francisco, it's South San Francisco, which is a separate city, but I can't think this is going to be more than a ticket because it's not even a real gun.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, South San Francisco, I actually never heard of it until you sent me this video to watch, John. But I would suspect their politics are similar to that of the rest of the Bay Area. I'm sure this guy would be looking at maybe a night in jail or like a ticket or something, nothing serious. But unfortunately for him, like he may not know that, for starters. And secondly, he may be thinking, if I get in handcuffs, if I do whatever, I'm going to go to jail. I'm sure he's been in jail before. But the thing is, trying to understand what he's thinking or his train of thought or why he's making the decisions he's making, he's not thinking clearly. He's very confused thinking. So he's going to do what he's going to do. I would much prefer he just do as he's told with these officers. Let me not say it. Let me put it that way. I'd much prefer he listen to the instructions of these officers and just take his hand out of his pocket slowly and show it to them so he can get this sorted out. I felt like these officers were there to help. That was their mission, I feel like.
Yeah, and they look like that. Hey, man, we want to figure out what's going on here. I got to identify you. I got to make sure that you don't have any warrants out. I got to make sure that, you're not wanted for murder right now because you're in the commission of a crime and I'm investigating that crime. And of course, this guy's going to then decide, no, it's time for me to turn around and run away from these guys because they're going to be like, okay, man, we're going to up this just a little bit and step into you. So then the guy runs off. Now, as he does, he makes a very bad decision here and pulls that gun out of his pocket rather than just run away. We say this all the time. If you're a bad guy and you have a gun on you that you shouldn't have, don't touch it. Because if you touch it, there's a high likelihood you're going to get shot. Now, that said, I really actually like here, given that this place is kind of abandoned, there's no other private citizens around, none of the other officers are at risk from this guy in this moment, and so our officers back off a little bit and call for reinforcements to try to end this without shooting this guy, and actually, I really think that was a good decision.
Now, normally, John and I would not say that because normally there's always the possibility of someone wandering by, a little kid, an old lady, walking into frame and becoming a hostage or a victim or whatever. Ordinarily, this is a very rare occasion where we're like, yeah, let this breathe a little bit, back off, let him think, let him cool down, hopefully, and drop the gun or put it down or whatever. There's no reason to compress your time and distance and sort of back him into a corner where he feels like he has to shoot or brandish the gun or whatever. So great job. But again, this is a really rare occurrence. I'm sure these officers know this marina or wherever they're at. I'm sure they know it well. I'm sure they must know there's very few people walking around. So they felt comfortable doing this. And I think I agree, John. Well done.
Yeah. And again, totality of circumstances dictates what's reasonable in the moment. And I think this was very reasonable. And I actually think it's laudable. Again, these officers, I think, are trying to avoid a use of force here. I mean, we're in a use of force, right? So you pull a gun on somebody, we're in a use of force. But they're trying to avoid having to shoot this guy. And I find that to be laudable, even though they're willing to if they have to. Now, our officer shows up with the 40 millimeter, the less lethal, right? So it shoots basically like a big Nerf gun is what it shoots. It's an annoyance device, a pain compliance device, and we don't see it work super often. It often will escalate a situation, so I'm not a big fan. I'm also not a big fan of dangling the sling, and I feel like I'm a broken record saying that again and again, but I do like that they're trying, Mike.
I've always wanted to read one of the reports after 40 millimeter was used. Like, I deployed a 40 millimeter round at the suspect. He then said, ow, and continued to do what he was doing before I hit him with the 40 millimeter because I've never seen it do anything useful ever, literally. And even in real world uses, they're not great. So I hate this terrain they're on right now, by the way. It just sucks. They're on these rocks. It's really hard to get your footing. You've got to keep an eye on the guy the entire time doing what he's doing in case you do have to shoot or whatever. And scrambling across these rocks is not an enviable position for them to be in. But these guys are real professionals. I was impressed with them all the way around.
I'm impressed with him too. Hey, look, this officer's using his sling. I'm so impressed. Like, how often do we not see that? He's actually using it. Now, I am going to stop it here in just a second because I want you to know why this officer decided to fire. They gave this guy every opportunity on earth to not get shot, but the guy ends up pulling the gun into his hand, and then he is going to turn it towards the officers. And at some point, when you're in these kind of standoffs, you have to decide, when is my line in the sand? Where is my, I cannot let it go further than this. And usually for most that is, if he actually threatens someone's life, if there is an actual threat to someone's life, I'm going to have to stop that. And here he turns that gun in the direction of the officer who is closest to him. And that is a threat of life to that officer. And so is this a good reason to shoot this man? The answer to that is, as much as I hate seeing somebody get shot, he put the quarter in the jukebox here. He gets to dance to the tune. I don't know what he was thinking, but I think this was absolutely justified conduct.
Yeah, I agree. Look, John and I are seeing the same thing you are. This is a tragic incident. This guy was clearly not well. I think he was working up the courage to aim it at him finally and have them shoot him. I think that's probably what he wanted to have happen. If you haven't checked out the Active Self-Protection podcast, by the time this airs on the app and on the YouTube channel, there will be an episode out with a former police officer that I interviewed, who was in a situation where he had a young lady and a mental crisis as well. She was threatening people with a screwdriver, and he actually decided to shoot her somewhere other than center of mass to try to gain compliance, and it worked. So check out that episode. It's really interesting stuff.
I think that's a valuable piece of information. And something, of course, when you listen to that episode, you'll realize that it ended up costing him his job to do that, which sucks, right? So this guy, again, justified conduct by these officers. Yes, he thought it was an actual deadly threat. Now, of course, the final thing that we want to talk about here is perception versus reality, because some people are going to be like, yeah, but it wasn't a real gun. I don't care, officer or private citizen, no state requires you to be actually in actual danger of death or great bodily harm, but rather it's whether you reasonably perceived that you were at risk of death or great bodily injury. And in this case, we don't require the officers to verify that his gun was real, that instead, wait a minute, they saw what certainly amounted to them as a deadly threat. You're going to see him turn the gun upwards here in just a second, and then acted based on that reasonable belief. And so he was the one who wanted them to think that. And we see this with bad guys who use these guns to rob and to hurt others and to take things from them. He wants them to perceive that it's real and perceive that risk, and then therefore let him do what he wants. And if he wanted to get away, he could have jumped in the drink and just gotten away, but instead he turned and pointed a gun at the officer. So even though it's not a real gun, they reasonably perceived it as one because it does reasonably look like a real gun. And I don't like that this guy got shot. I mean, I don't ever want to see somebody get shot like this. I'd rather see him get the help that he needs. But again, he's the one whose actions ultimately determined the outcomes, and these officers had to cover their asp.